Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night. It's noon here with your quick update. What's going on, guys? So, big news just dropped. The White House just announced that the U.S. and China have reached a preliminary trade deal during meetings in Geneva. That's right. You heard that correct. Geneva! But before anyone starts celebrating or panicking, let's slow it down and kind of talk about what we know. Spoiler alert, it's not much, but it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. So, according to reports from Reuters, AP, and the Wall Street Journal, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Trade Representative Jameson Greer sat down with the Chinese Vice Premier He Ling, if that's how you pronounce it, I doubt it, for 2 days at high-level talks. Both sides walked away calling it productive, and the White House even confirmed that there is a deal, or at least at the early framework of one. They're calling it substantial progress. You know how the White House is. Everything's substantial. It's bigly news. Uh, it's aimed at reducing the U.S. trade deficit with China, which, by the way, is kind of sitting at a massive $295 billion at the moment. But here's kind of the catch. We don't really have any details at all yet. In typical White House fashion, we're kind of being trickle-fed information. In particular, this seems to be kind of just a, hey, the talks are moving forward and things are being discussed, but there's nothing in writing, nothing signed, and nothing to announce big yet. Let's be real, this kind of isn't the first time we've seen fat, flashy headlines about U.S.-China deals, especially recently, that don't really go anywhere. And as of right now, we really don't know what actually is in the agreement. There's been no mention of tariff rollbacks and no policy specifics. No signed documents have been shared with the public, so essentially nothing. This is just kind of an announcement that there is continued talks, and they feel like they've come to perhaps verbal agreements, as well as perhaps some form of paperwork is being signed. Don't forget, though, this comes after a brutal few months of rising tariffs. We're talking 145% U.S. tariffs on some Chinese imports, and China's hitting back with 125% of their own. That kind of trade war really doesn't vanish overnight, and so there's going to be long-term effects no matter what, especially even if things are, hashed out now. Which it doesn't even really sound like it is, truly. So yeah, a deal was announced, but until we see the receipts, it's all just political noise. Take it with a grain of salt, or like a whole salt shaker, if you will. So don't get me wrong, even though we don't have a full picture, the fact that both sides are talking and actually using words like reset and productive, that's not nothing, especially coming from the Chinese side. Donald Trump and his White House, they're definitely prone to saying these kind of things to build up kind of confidence in the markets and things of that nature, and they should be, considering that realistically speaking, the only issue that Trump and his staff are kind of facing right now are the fact that like there might be a looming kind of recession and financial woes and issues. So it's definitely behooves the White House as well as Trump to kind of nip this in the bud and be able to announce things sooner than later. Um, Whether you're watching the stock market, working in manufacturing, or just wondering why your electronics cost more this year, this trade tension has impacted everyone. So any step toward easing it is kind of a win at this point, even if it's a tiny one. President Trump even called it a total reset, which is a pretty bold statement considering the last couple of years, back and forth and whatnot. So again, optimism is fine. Just be cautious. Don't make any big financial decisions just yet based on kind of like this news. So my final thoughts are: yes, it's positive. Yes, it's progress. But no, it's not time to throw confetti just yet. We need details, we need clarity, and we need to follow through. And so hopefully that is the case. Make sure that you're subscribed because I'll be following this story as it unfolds. The second we get any real info, I'll break it down for you right here. So go ahead and stick with me. Thanks.